takes a couple more clicks.
Okay. Are we good to go?
Almost. 1 second.
One. How many times have you heard that? Just give me a second.
Okay, you're
Okay,
good. And
we're
we have
ready.
5 commissioners.
Okay, starting over. Aloha, Maikako. Good morning, everyone. The hybrid meeting of the Cultural Resources Commission will now come to order. Quorum has been established with, I'm sorry, Steph, how many are in attendance?
We have 5 commissioners present now.
With five members in attendance. Today is Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. It is currently 10:08 a.m. Pursuant to Act 220, Sessions Laws of Hawaii 2021, which amended the Sunshine Law to allow meetings to be remotely conducted online effective January 1, 2022, the Cultural Resources Commission will host a hybrid meeting of online and in-person participants. An in-person location has been identified on the agenda for the public to provide testimony on agenda items and to view the meeting. This meeting can also be viewed live online. A link to the YouTube live stream is provided on the county website. The video recording will remain on the YouTube channel for those who are not able to watch it live. Reports and surveys reviewed during the hearing are available at the county website. Commissioners, please be reminded that only one person may speak at a time. Raise your hand to be recognized if you have a question or comment. Commissioners, please introduce yourselves and report if others are present in your location. I'll begin. I'm by myself in my truck. I'm over here at beautiful Hulihe'e Palace, and Iron Man is in full swing all around me.
No disrespect, Mr. Chair, but
Commissioner Omea.
Can we open with Pule?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, Pule kako. No ka mea he ika ka he mana ho ika olelo ke akua. He o inui kona ma mua o ko ka pahi kaua o i lua. He o ana e ka awale ke ola ame ka uhane. Ona ami ame ka lolo o ia ka luna kana vai no ka no ono o ame kana au. Amene. I'm Uncle Des Haumea, Vice Chair of the Commission. I'm here with my cat. And at home. Yeah, I'm not in Seattle.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle Des. Commissioner Six.
Hi, I'm here by myself in my home office. I'm Janet Six. Thank you.
I see Commissioner Spielman. You're muted, Aaron, if you're there. I think we'll jump on to Commissioner Gamayo.
Aloha, Darty Gamayo here in the Kappa studio by myself.
Okay, Commissioner Kealani.
Aloha pumehana o wau ku'ulei Kealani. Aia wau ma ku'uhale ma Waimea me ku'ukei kamahine. I'm ku'ulei Kealani at home in Waimea, and I have my daughter on fall break. She's home with me. Mahalo.
Well, that's right.
Okay, is Commissioner Spielman there?
Probably at the state office with technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, can you hear me okay? Test, test. Good? Oh, hey,
Yep.
Aaron Spielman, Commissioner. I'm here at work by myself.
Okay, mahalo. CRC staff support joining us today are Bethany Morrison, Planning Program Manager, Kim Tanaka, Planner, Ashley DeVera, Board Secretary, Jean Campbell, Deputy Corporation Counsel. Oh, and I'm sorry, quorum has been established with 5 members. Pursuant to HRS 92-3, interested persons who want to provide oral testimony may do so either at the beginning of the meeting when the board takes public statements on the agenda or immediately before the specific agenda item is called. Staff, please indicate if there are any members of the public wishing to provide testimony online or in person.
Here we have no public testifiers.
Okay, that brings us to old business of the commission. The first one is Kona Open Space Network draft plan. I believe staff, are you going to provide an update on that?
We provided a draft memo for your folks to review and approve today. Hopefully we captured the comments from the last meeting.
Okay. Commissioners, any discussion on that draft letter?
No, done really well. Mahalo.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was summarized what we talked about. Anyone else have any comments on that letter?
I just want to add that I mahalo all of our commissioners because what they shared on the draft letter. You know, it's mahalo to everybody here. Mana o mai kai.
Yep, I'll echo that.
And so,
Oh, sorry, Matt. I
no,
just want
please go ahead.
mahalo. Just want to definitely echo a mahalo for the draft of this letter. And again, that capturing and what most of us had expressed in how the sites are related, interrelated to others within the vicinity and otherwise. But again, just mahalo for the drafting of the letter and reflecting our manao in that. Mahalo anui.
Staff, do we need to get a motion to approve the letter for signature? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, at your last meeting, you guys wanted sort of that one last check. And so, yeah, motion to approve as drafted would be awesome. Thank you.
I move to accept.
I'll make a
the draft
motion.
letter.
Oh,
Yeah.
then I will second that motion.
That'll be quick, Matt.
I guess, yeah, I think we'll just do all in favor. Aye.
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 All opposed? Nay. The ayes have it. So we have accepted the draft letter as is. Thank you, staff, for putting together such a thoughtful letter. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that we're moving on now to Hakalau Stream Bridge rehabilitation. This is consultation and discussion of pre-production documentary video pursuant to the Hakalau Stream Bridge Rehabilitation Project Memorandum of Agreement, location Hakalau, Aohua, Hilo, Moku, Hawaii. Jean, I have a question for you before we get to this. I did participate as a consultant in this project and in the MOA. Do I need to recuse myself or is this informational?
I think it would be up to you to determine whether or not was your work, your private work so significant that it gets in the way of your ability to be fair? And do you have a financial interest in the project going forward or not going forward, that might be implicated in any decision that's made here? And we do have
I would say
members. Yeah, we do have 6 members present, so if you want to recuse yourself, we don't lose quorum. Or you, yeah.
I don't think I have any. I think I can stay for this one. I don't have any further financial. Our work is all done on this project. Thank you.
Okay. Then your disclosure should be sufficient.
Is there someone from HSOT that's presenting here?
Morning, this is Robert Sun. I'm the current project manager for HDOT on this Hakalau bridge project. It was the previous project manager was Holly Yuen, which will probably coordinate with you previously. But yeah, the project has been transferred to me. So we're here today, as Mr. Clark explained, to kind of share with you our progress on the 106 mitigation video that was part of the stipulations for our project to get underway. I have with me members of the consultant team from WSP. So I'll let Mr. Cam kind of introduce his team as well as the videographer for the undertaking.
I'm Miki
Mahalo,
Aloha
Mr. Sun.
Kako. Oh, sorry, Matt.
No, aloha, Alan. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay.
I'm going to mute myself. You guys
Okay.
can.
Hikino. I'm Miki Aloha Kako. O Alan o Cam no Honolulu Mayo. Mahalo nunui everybody for giving us this opportunity to come and present at your meeting. We really appreciate it. I am here. Well, there's actually, I'm seeing a lot of people from WSP here, but we're here actually on different projects. So just to introduce my team that's here on the Hakalau project from WSP, it's Pamela Ueda and Ethan Lau. And also we have our videographer from Paliku Films, Naalehu Anthony, who we will be talking about this project. May I please share my screen? We have a presentation, I think, that will help facilitate the discussion.
You should be able to share screen. Let us know if you have any challenges with that.
Okay, mahalo. Okay. Can everybody see that? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Okay, how about now? Kalamai.
Okay, we can see that now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Mahalo. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Wait, did it go to the right one? Kalamai. I cannot tell. Is it? Are you guys seeing the big picture of the bridge?
It's the big picture,
Okay.
and then it says Hakalau Stream
Okay.
Bridge. Yeah.
Mahalo. Okay, mahalo. Okay, so again, we are here about the regarding the I guess through our 106 process for the rehabilitation of the Hakalau Stream Bridge. You know, we went through the 106 process, and the CRC was a consulting party as a part of this, which is why we are here. And part of the mitigation that came out of the MOA was to video document the Hakalau Bridge. And then with my next slide, so this is actually what you're seeing on screen are actually the requirements as per, they come directly out of the MOA, which was signed December 30th, 2024. That this is the section that pertains specifically to the video documentary. And so I just wanted to kind of, just so you understand sort of what our requirements and what our goals are, pahuhopu are for this. So the first requirement is that HDOT shall contract with a video production company and to create a documentary. And we have, of course, engaged Paliku Films, who are highly qualified. I'm sure some of you know of Paliku Films, if not everybody. They're a fabulous film company. So we have contracted with them to help us prepare this video that is going to record and interpret the historic and cultural significance of not just the bridge, but also the Hilo Railroad Company, all the company, the majority of the historic bridges that are in the on the Hamakua coast, as well as how the 1946 tsunami impacted those bridges, as well as to document sort of the history of the Hamakua coastline communities. So that we have already, as I said, we've procured with, we've contracted Paliku Films. Number two is that the documentary will include interviews of recognized engineering experts, historians, and kupuna with knowledge of the area. And as we go into our next slide, you'll get a chance to see who it is that we've spoken with and who we have kind of kukad with to find out this valuable information. And then the next requirement is that we have at least one consulting meeting being held during video pre-production, which is what we are here for right now, yeah? The next sentence, it says it can be the same community provided for in stipulation C3, which that pertains to another mitigation requirement, which is interpretive signage to be placed down at Hakalau. We do have a separate contractor called Infographic to help us with that. They are not here today, so that community meeting with Infographic will be a separate meeting. It is not this one. And then also a draft of the video will be shared with the Historic Preservation and other consulting parties, which is the CRC, prior to finalization. The next one is that consultation will begin within 24 months of execution of the MOA, which we are currently well within, as it was, I think it's about 10 months and we've already started. And as soon as we get the final draft video approval, it will be also completed we're anticipating it will be completed well within 12 months. Also in terms of distribution, the last two really talk about distribution, how it gets viewed and how it gets aired. We have had some preliminary conversations where we're talking to different places, such as the Laupohoihoi Train Museum, the Pacific Tsunami Museum, Lyman Museum, as well as potentially housing it on the Hakalau Home website. But for that, I'm gonna also actually at this time turn it over to Na'alehu Anthony, who I think can add a little bit more color on the last two, as well as talk about kind of what the content of the film is. So, Na'alehu?
Aloha, Vilinunui me ke aloha, ia ka kua pao, Eva o Na'alehu Anthony no ka'awa mai au mai ka mokupuni o Ahu, ka I ke maula ai wau ma ka aina nani maoli no oihoi o Waimea. Aloha everyone, my name is Na'alehu Anthony. I'm the principal at Paliku Documentary Films, and it's a privilege to be here today. Thank you for making time for us. So just to round out these last two bullet points that Alan was pointing out, through our process of research, as well as photography and inquiry into this topic, we've made contact with a number of different facilities and folks up and down the coast in the Hilo Hamakua area. And so as part of that research and inquiry, we've also been talking to them about how we might be able to utilize their venues to share this content once it's finished. The content will be probably between 30 and 45 minutes long. The current rough cut is, I think, at about 32 minutes. And we are planning on, and part of the stipulation of this is to be able to share this content with any interested educational institution. For part 5, we are looking at and in discussions with being able to screen in 2 places. Initially, the first would be at Imiloa Astronomy Center on the UH Hilo campus. And we really want to be able to screen in Hakalau. So we might, we're working right now on being able to screen at the Joda Mission in Hakalau. And we're working with Susan and Ken Forbes on that topic. Next slide, please, Alan. You know, we take any opportunity to storytell in and along the lines of, you know, even something as robust as a mitigation project really seriously. We want to make sure that the storytelling is compelling and that we have the ability to not just have a finished film as a product, but also be able to pull together content that persists in all kind of different locations in one place now on hard drives and in the cloud, to be able to storytell in and around something as interesting, I think, as the story that connects the Hilo Hamakua coast. So we've taken this content and really split it up into 4 parts. Part 1 is talking to interviewees of folks who you might recognize the names, who grew up either in Hakalau or on the Hamakua coast. In this case, Dwayne Karisu, who grew up and worked in the sugar plantations in Hakalau, and former Governor John Waihee, as you well know, spent time in Honoka'a as well as other locations up on the coast. And that's really to give us a sense of how the sugar industry shaped Hawaii and the coastline here on Hawaii Island. Part 2 is really looking at how the engineering feats that would have been in around 1910 and 11 in building out these bridges to support the rail industry, to support the sugar industry, really happened. And looking at some of the early photos of just how difficult it was to build something as large as like the Hakalau Bridge, really gives us, I think, a setup for what kind of work is needed to help to rehabilitate these bridges. One of the most important pieces, I think, of this story is the 1946 tsunami, which really caused the sugar industry to have to rethink how they were going to transport, sugar up and down the coast. And 1946 would be the end of moving sugar via train, and they had to go through vehicular traffic after they repaired the bridges that were impacted in 46. Really, part 3 here is looking at how the land is further transformed post-sugar, when we're looking at the growth of no longer sugar crops, but now homes up and down this coast. And there's a soundbite that came out of one of the interviews that talks about how in the 90s, people were marketing the coastline as come and build your own paradise. And so we're taking this as like what happens next as we look at the continuation of people calling these small coastal towns home. And the last piece then gets into the depth of how the Hakalau Bridge will be reformed to hopefully stand for another 100 years, using new technologies, new engineering techniques, as well as design and materials, gives us what we are looking for into the future when we're talking about bridge design and bridge building. And I would just add that this is also a project that is meant to help to capture these bridges as they stand today, before they are modified in any way into the future. With that, I'll pause here, and happy to answer any questions. Please center all the hard questions back to Alan, and thank you for your time today on this call. Aloha.
Mahalo, both Nalehu and Alan. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to seeing this video. I'll just open it up. Commissioners, any questions?
I have one.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Six.
Thanks. Hi, thank you so much for the presentation. It's really fascinating. I did my PhD research on sugar plantations, but one thing I would like to see, and I don't know how the other commissioners would feel, is when you have this brief history of pre-contact Hamakua area. I get that, I understand, but place names, Yu'alala Hawaii, like place names, things like that, anything that could be incorporated, because there's a big focus on sugar, obviously, but sugar had good and bad effects on the island, as we know. And of course, the tsunami would be important. So, and also, I don't know if you know this, Ana'alehu, you might, that Thomas Edison actually filmed the trains out in Kau, and it's at Library of Congress. So there's some really cool archival footage, because that's where I did my PhD research. So that's all. I was just hoping a little bit more emphasis on what it might have meant prior if that's something. I know it's about the bridge. I get that. You know what I mean? So it's not like it needs to be a really robust section. That's my comment. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. If I could just respond to that just really quickly. That comment has come up before, and we actually have Ross Stevenson, who's I think one of the only interviews that we haven't done yet, who is going to help us to fill that part in, and would agree with you. Governor Waihee touches on it a little bit about talking about these settlements that were in the valleys before sugar came, and right, we want to remind everybody that life did not start at the point of the sugar plantation showing up, and so that point is well taken, and we will get into that. And I did find the Edison footage, and we've pulled a little bit of that in. And there's also some other moving image footage of cars driving down the coast in the old Mamalahoa Road, of really old film footage that pairs nicely with Governor Waihee talking about what it was like as a kid moving up and down the coast. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, I was very surprised to find that the first train was in Kau when I was working out there. You know, when you think about everything, it just was like, what? So anyway, thank you for that. I really appreciate your
Thank you.
filling in those gaps. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, mahalo. Oh, please go ahead, Uncle Des.
Yeah, is there a alternate route should there be an accident or anything on the bridge?
You mean during that is planned as a part of the rehab, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to rehabilitate the bridge, it's been known when there's an accident on that highway, it really holds up the traffic. I just wondering if there is a part of the plan to identify an alternate route. There's also a couple roads up in the valley that was used for,
Yeah. I mean, as far as
traffic and animals.
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
No, Kalamai. I mean, as far as the project, I mean, the project itself isn't planning to close the bridge completely. I mean, we might have to maybe close a lane here and there for during construction, but there's no like permanent closures. But as far as kind of creating an alternate route, that's not. I don't think that's necessarily a part of this particular project. But I'm going to leave it to Rob or Pam, our engineers, if you guys have anything to add to that, because
Mahalo.
Right. Oh, I guess nothing else to add, Rob. Okay.
Aaron's waiting nice and patiently with his hand up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't see who has their hand up, so please go ahead.
This is Rob from DOT. There, as Alan said, there's no alternate route incorporated into the project. The work is primarily underneath the bridge. So if there's an accident, we would have to refer back to our district staff on Hawaii Island to kind of inform us on what the best emergency option would be. But as part of this project, nothing has been, I guess, planned for specifically for this project. But again, we would have to check with what our staff on the island would normally do under those circumstances.
Mahalo, thank you.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Commissioner.
Commissioner Spielman.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for the presentation. I love the video aspect of this. The storytelling aspect is huge. If I understand correctly, there will also be interpretive signage. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I really like this ability to have the video, especially because we drive on the bridge, but we don't get to see the structure. We don't get to see the other sides of it, and so having that narrative history with the interviewees is great to have overlapping with the old footage and new footage. So thank you for putting that together. One of the questions I had when I looked at the mapping, and I'm not sure we've seen it yet today, but the APE, the potential area of impact or area of potential impact or effect. It's a map. It feels very flat, right? Like we're up at that high elevation of the Hakalau Bridge, but below that is the stream and the ocean. And is that not also part of the area of potential effect? And I'm just not sure when and where those decisions are made. If there's like, oh no, it's not, or oh no, we want to restrict that area out because we don't want to have to deal with it. And I guess I just want to bring it up as a point of conversation. We've seen a few bridges over the years, and I know the bridge isn't right next to the ocean, but it is above it. And so if there was like an event or something happened and material was dropped, let's say, hydraulic fluid spill, paint spill, would that also be an APE for, like, let's say, the river mouth and the ocean? I just want to make that point, but thank you very much. I love the video.
Yeah, no, mahalo for your question. So when we talk about APE, we're specifically talking about the 106 process and cultural resources, yeah? So in our APE, even though, yeah, you look at the map and you're right, it is flat. The APE does also include the ground itself. And that was considered, I think one of our concerns, right, is like maybe there might be iwi kupuna or something buried on the ground underneath the bridge. And that was something that we assessed and we looked at. And then, kind of where you were, I think what you're also concerned about was beyond also cultural resources, and what about natural resources like the stream and all the perhaps the vegetation and the native plants that might be underneath it, or endangered plants that might be underneath it. So that was also assessed, not as a part of 106, right? Because that's the cultural, but in terms of like the environmental assessment that we prepared, we did look at those areas as well. And then we also did have to go through a Section 7 review process, Section 7 consultation with the Fish and Wildlife Services, as well as NIMFS, the National Marine Fisheries, yeah, to make sure that we're not impacting the stream, which can flow out into the ocean and potentially impact fisheries. So we've as a part of the EA process, so a different process from the 106, that was all considered.
Mahalo. Thank you, everyone, and thus far lifting and elevating these questions. Aaron, I was right on that same wavelength, perhaps, as what you had surfaced, and I was looking to I am not a wahine of Hamakua, of those cliffs, and Hamakua Kihiloa, so I'm not too familiar at all, perhaps, with the Waikaumalo stream, but I want to say that perhaps does it continue to flow? So it's a question. Does the stream Waikaumalo stream continue to flow? Would that then perhaps, and if it is, I would hope that it still does, but how would that affect work? Like if the stream is flowing, would you folks stop working, right? Because that's kind of my thing, and we've addressed this on some of the other bridge repairs or rehabilitations, is the water going go where the water like go, and then we'll take whatever is in the water with it. So I'm just kind of thinking about that, the water flow and the potential areas of impacts could be because of the strength, we're going to say, of water and its ability to move things in vast amounts and in quite frankly, quite a large area. That area of impact might be perhaps beyond what we might imagine with the stream flow or heavy rainfall that might then translate out to a really large amounts of water coming through and then puka out into the kai. So anyway, that was one of my thoughts, is the stream flow, does it hamper or would work cease? And then I did think about the vegetation, because it does say that some clearing will need to be done. And are there perhaps any plant life, yes, but also the other stream species. I'm thinking of the opu, kela neaola, those things of those areas and considerations of how this might impact those. In my mind, cultural natural resources, one in the same. But nevertheless, I am I also just want to say how cool it is to have this documentation via the storytelling of through the medium of video. And so, Brother Naalehu folks, stellar, of course, company for you folks to bring on with their skill sets, their heart. And I appreciate that because you're going to lay down now this documentation that will be around for the generations to see that will come potentially way after us. So mahalo anui.
Mahalo nui, Commissioner. So yeah, again, as a part of the EA, we did look at that, and certainly, as a part of the project, we don't want to stop the stream, and I don't believe that during construction we have plans to stop the stream, because, like you said, that could have tremendous impacts in things like the oopu or other wildlife that's in the stream. But what we are going to apply our best management practices as we construct. Yeah, so there will be things like barriers to make sure that when it rains, for example, the runoff doesn't push any construction materials or any of the runoff into the stream to impact. So that is all going to be implemented, and that was also because of the stream. We did have to, I think there's going to be some work in the stream because some of the pillars that also are in the stream now. So we did have to go to the Army Corps of Engineers and get approval from them and get their okay. And as a part of that approval, we did commit to all of those kinds of protections for the environment. And then as far as like the plant life underneath the bridge, so we did have a biological survey done. And even though any of the native plants that were there, well, first of all, there were no endangered species that were identified. There were native plants found, but they were things that are probably more like va'a plants, things or things that were probably planted at a later date, not so much from Wakahiko, so like there were things like I think hala, pili, and obviously hala, I mean, it's getting harder to find nice hala, but it's technically not endangered, yeah. So we did look at those things. So mahalo for your question.
Mahalo. I just
have
also
my
want
hand
to take
up
a
and
quick
Matt
moment to
can't
clarify
see it.
where.
Oh, sorry, I had my hand up, but I know
Sorry,
you couldn't
Janet,
see it.
just
Go
one
ahead, Matt.
sec. Yeah, just we're
No,
we're
go
on the
ahead.
Hakalau Bridge, and why Kamalo will come next. I just want to clarify that for the commissioners. And yeah, thank you. Go ahead, Janet.
I just wanted to say, because I know you have the different types of signage in the future, but maybe at some point there could be a QR code that would link you to the film. I'm sure you've thought of that, but it'd be nice to get more eyes on it if someone's interested in the bridge, if there's some signage like that. That's all. Thank you.
That's
Absolutely.
a great idea.
Good work, Commissioner. Thank you. Absolutely.
And I have a question about, you mentioned that schools will be able to get these films, and can you explain a little bit more about how that would work and how you plan to distribute to the schools?
Yeah, I can take that. So right now we're looking at ways that we can engage through the venues that we had talked about. The folks at the Lapohoihoi Train Museum already have a couple of screens in the venue and are playing material in loops. Hakalau Home would be a great place to be able to utilize some of this, and I would anticipate that as we get closer to the signage being built, that a QR code linking to either the film or parts of the film could be utilized. There was a question that came up in a meeting earlier this week, Chair, about how we might engage schools. It's still under discussion. I think the idea of building curriculum around some of this might take a little bit more doing, but one of the things that we are looking at is making sure that the film is modular in its runtime. And so when you see the 4 parts that are on the screen right now, each of these parts is, somewhere between 7 and 10 minutes. And what we want to be able to do is make sure that we can clip these out so that, as an example, if there's interest in the engineering that took place, which would be part 2, we could clip that out, and so that it would be more bite-sized for a school-sized environment. Sometimes you don't, if it's a 30 or 40-minute class, you don't have time to watch the whole documentary. So really making this modular, I think, is one of the important pieces to how it is that we can contribute to utilizing this in educational institutions.
Mahalo. I appreciate that. And yeah, I think it came up before, but something that always comes up in these bridge discussions is the cultural spaces that the bridges cross. And I think I can just reiterate that I do think that's an important aspect of this, and giving a little bit of the background of Pakalau and how transportation through this valley evolved over time to get to the point where they had the railroad and road highway bridges. But I'm really excited you're making this video, so mahalo.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We're excited on this project as well. I mean, we came across film footage of some of the waves in 46, like actual film footage, not just stills of the waves coming up in Hilo in 46 and the aftermath of the bridges and the like. And there's just some really dramatic footage that persists there. And as a documentary filmmaker, I mean, we've been at this for almost 30 years. And there's images that I've never seen before, which is the kind of the exciting part about a project like this, is like we're trying to drill down into a material that fits what we're talking about. And so we get to go and ask these questions of all kind of people who are subject matter experts, as well as institutions that have this kind of imagery. If I could just add one other thing that I think is really important, is that the entire what we would call above the line production team, so the editor, the producer, writer, the director of photography, they're all from Hawaii Island. And so part of this is wanting to make sure that we are utilizing the resources here on Hawaii Island and really letting the expertise and these folks who've been in the industry for many years shine. And so the director of photography is from Honoka'a, our editor is from Waimea, and our writer co-producer is in Hilo. So just wanted to add that to let you folks know that it's really important to us, and that we keep the expertise local. Mahalo.
Mahalo, that's great to hear. Commissioners, any other questions? Please go ahead. I don't see anyone's hands. No. So and I guess just so I understand, and staff, you can jump in on here. This is just informational. You guys are presenting. We don't need to make any resolutions or anything. You're just this is continuing the Section 106 consultation, and in the future we will get perhaps an advanced copy of the film or the documentary to look at and be able to provide any comment we may have on that.
Yeah, that's correct. So we'll have a working cut just down the road here in a little bit. We can get that circulated.
Okay. Yeah, and just so the other commissioners know that we also will, it sounds like they'll come back when they are talking about the signage that's going to go along with this project, and we'll have another meeting for that. And anyone else, or do you guys have anything to add before we move on?
No, Chair. Just a huge mahalo for the time and attention to this today. Thank you.
Yeah, mahalo nui.
Okay, mahalo. We're really looking forward to it, and can't wait. And Alan, anything to add?
No, but mahalo nui to everyone for their time.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming back to us, and we look forward to seeing you guys again in the near future.
Thank you.
All right. Aloha. Okay, staff, it just says here on my thing, are there any other members of the public that are here to provide testimony on this? Or-
No public testimony, Chair. Thank you.
Okay. And that brings us to the new business of the commission. This is the section 106 review, Waikamalo Stream Bridge rehabilitation in Hilo Moku Island of Hawaii. I guess HDOT and WSP consultants provide a presentation. Can you please introduce your team and then proceed with your presentation? Mahalo.
I'm Andy Hirano. I'm the HDOT project manager for the project, and I have with me the consultants that are designing the project, and we have a presentation to go over what the project is about. So I'll turn it over to my consultant group.
Yes, thank you. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. My name is Scott King. I'm with WSP, the consultant team who's doing the environmental work. And here with me, I have Malia McClellan and also Isabella McCrae. They're also on the line, but I'll be presenting. And I'm also going to try to share my screen. Okay, can everybody see that slide okay?
Yes, Scott, we can see it, but just so you know, we can see this is like your presentation notes view of the slide.
Okay. I see. I'm trying to figure out how to make it big for you. Is that better?
Yes, that's better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, mahalo nui for letting us brief. It's an honor and a pleasure, and I'm very excited to brief in front of the CRC today. And so, as Matt mentioned, this is for the Waikamalo Stream Bridge Rehabilitation Project. And I believe the committee saw these slides as read-aheads before the meeting. This is an HDOT project. And just a few slides here. And the overview is that we'll be giving you just some general information about the bridge, the project scope, tell you what this project entails. We'll give you a description of the area of potential effects. That's the outline of the project area. And also what we found within that outline of the project area, which includes historic, or the research that we accomplished includes searching for historic, archaeological, and cultural resources within the project area. We'll tell you about who we reached out to as part of the 106 process, as part of outreach, and then some highlights and milestones. We'll give you an estimate of that timeline for the design and the schedule, and kind of wrap up with just a couple project contacts. So at any time, if you have questions, if anybody has questions, please just jump right in. So this, again, is the Waikamalo Stream Bridge. It was constructed in 1952, and it's considered a typical post-war bridge. And the program comments, the program comments for this bridge indicate that it's in other words, a typical or ordinary bridge. And so it follows, it should be no surprise that it is not listed on the National Register of Historic Places and the State Register of Historic Places. Now, as part of the project scope, what this project entails, HDOT plans on repairing and replacing deteriorated steel members, also repairing spalling and delamination in the abutments, the piers, the concrete deck, sidewalks, and the bridge railing, and also repairing cracks in the abutments, all those same components, repairing and replacing bridge bearings, as well as the deck joints and joint seals, and repairing the concrete rubble masonry wing wall. And then in addition, repairing any spalling that might be found on the piers. Now, also included in the project scope, it may consist of footing upgrades if scour is discovered, and scour is the erosion of sediment and material by water around those footings. And you should also know that lead soil sampling will take place below the embankment areas of the bridge. And if lead is found, a remediation effort will take place that conforms to the requirements of the Hawaii Department of Health. Now, so I just described kind of what the project entails, and now we'll tell you and show you what the outline of the project area is, or the area of potential effects. And on the picture here, you can see that it's outlined in red. And the majority of this project area is composed of the pre-disturbed right-of-way. And that's, of course, right along the road. Now, there are two other small sections of adjacent parcels, and you can see how they extend into the Mauka side TMK parcels just a little bit. And the purpose of that is to make some room for the HDOT contractor so that they can have some room for staging equipment, and if needed, access to those bridge foundations at the bottom. Now, within that area of potential effects that I just showed you, we did some research for evidence of archaeological, historic, or cultural resources within the project area. And the sources that we looked into were included the Shipley Library, the State Historic Preservation Division Library, HICRIS, the Hawaii Cultural Resources Information System, and also the National and State Register of Historic Places. And within those sources, no records were found for specific historic properties or cultural resources within this area of potential effects. And also, in addition, there were no archaeological inventory surveys, cultural impact assessments, or archaeological literature review and field inspections for the project area or anything within those project areas. However, we did uncover one document from the Shipley Library that discusses the potential for archaeological remains to be associated with irrigated taro cultivation. Now, in one specific, the document noted that the potential for this in one specific TMK parcel. And that's the TMK parcel that's highlighted in red or light red on your screen. And so again, it did not reveal any specific site. The document only indicated the potential for something to be present in this one TMK parcel. But you can see that our project area encroaches upon this TMK parcel just a little bit. Now, our project area only encroaches upon the area that is closest to the pre-disturbed right-of-way. And in addition to that, the planned disturbance there only consists of vegetation clearing. And so in other words, there won't be any planned digging or excavation in that small area. Again, that's for the purpose of equipment staging. Now, as part of the 106 process, we reached out to Native Hawaiian organizations, the CRC included. This is a list of those consulting parties. And so the NHO letters were sent out at the very end of August, and at the very beginning of September. The news advertisement was published in 2 newspapers on September 4th, in the Hawaii Tribune Herald and the West Hawaii Today. And there was only one response, aside from the CRC's invitation to brief. There was only one other response from the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, and they commented generally just a question about the parcel that I described to you earlier. I'll flip back to that image. The question was basically, well, hey, what about this document that you found, and what about the potential for something being there? And so we formally replied to them, basically just explaining the same things that we're presenting to you today, that our area only encroaches a little bit, and also there's no digging or excavation planned in that particular area. It's only for the purpose of equipment staging. Okay, and some highlights for the schedule are as follows here. Environmental permitting is supposed to last until the spring of 2026 as an estimate. The design will be complete around the fall of 2026. And following that, the job will be advertised for construction in the winter of 2026. And then the reconstruction or improvement timeline for construction will be between the summer of 2027 and the summer of 2028. Now, the 2 main contacts, Andrew from HDOT, he, of course, is present on the call, and then myself as the project manager just for the environmental piece. I can be a contact for you as well if you have any questions. So I'll open it up to any questions. And again, mahalo for the opportunity to present.
Mahalo, Scott. Thank you. I guess I'll open it up just quickly. I noticed, I guess, 3 questions. There's 4 aupua'a listed on this, and typically the bridge, there's a stream, and it would be between 2 aupua'a, I would expect. But is there a reason, or is it just they don't know the boundaries of those aupua'a, and it's kind of just all grouped together in the state GIS? That's my first one. Second, can you talk a little bit more about the ground disturbance that would be involved? I know you mentioned just vegetation clearing on the one parcel, but are there going to be disturbances along the gulch edges to get down to access the bridge? Will there be heavy equipment used in the gulch itself? And then 3, are you planning to do a on the ground survey for cultural resources?
Oh, thanks, Matt. So the first question I have is, or the first question you had was about the aupua'as. So Isabella, if you're on the line, you want to jump in, you can jump in if I'm not describing this correctly. But when we looked on the map for TMKs, it looks as though the description of the aupua'a has a double name. So that the first one was listed as the aupua'a for one TMK, and then the other one appeared to be a double name as well. I'm not an ahupua'a expert, but that's, I guess I'm trying to describe that there appeared to be two, between the three different TMKs, there appeared to be two ahupua'as listed, and they appeared to be both have double names. Isabel, am I hitting that correctly?
Yeah, so that's correct. So Pua'a Kuloa Kapena is one ahupua'a, and then the Piha Kahuku ahupua'a is the other. And our source for that was High Chris. The boundary runs directly like through the stream. So there's two within the project area. Yeah, and then the comments, the two names separated by the comment is actually one name.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
I have my hand up. Can I go?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, I can't see.
No,
I
not
can't
what I
see
figured.
anybody
It's
who
okay.
has
No,
hands up.
a
Yes,
lot of the
please.
stuff that you said, Matt, was what I was thinking. So a couple of clarifications. Bridge was built in 52. There's no 6E regulations until the 70s, so we don't have any archaeological inventory survey. So the absence of data does not mean that there is nothing there, because there hasn't been any formal inventory survey to record anything. We have the 1990 document saying that there's likely lo'i in the gulch. So I would recommend that at least a field survey be done in this stream, just to make sure, especially if you're going into that area, because you're not going to find anything on High Chris or in Shipti or on the historic register unless somebody surveyed it, right? So once someone does a survey, then they get inventoried. So just be mindful of that. So that's all I'm thinking of. And so Matt addressed a lot of my questions, what you're going to be doing in the stream itself, and just, are you going to be doing some kind of like at least a field inspection above ground to see what may be impacted if you are going down the slope or any of that kind of stuff. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for those comments. Matt, your second question was about
just the extent of disturbance. What do you anticipate under the bridge? Are they going to be driving machines, creating roads? Anything like that, or is it all done from the highway on top of the bridge?
Right, Randy, would you be willing to speak on that?
Yes, I would. I'm trying to turn on my video, but
it's not
working. Anyway, I assume you can hear me. If we have to, I guess, fix one of the piers, we would have to get some equipment down there, and depending on how extensive that is, it would be the type of equipment, and maybe it can be lowered down with a crane, or it would have to be cutting a trail. We're not really sure yet. And the other problem, or what we're not really sure of, is for like some of the other bridges, lead was determined because they use lead paint, and the soil below it is contaminated. If lead is found in the soil below, and as we go through Department of Health, and the mitigation is to do something with that soil, which I think would be for this one, because it seems that you can access the stream below, then we would have to get some kind of equipment down there to either dig up the soil to remove, or probably encase the soil in some measure. So I don't have a really firm answer for you, but we may need to cut some trails to get down there for one of those two activities.
Thank you.
And then Matt, your last question.
I guess it was same as Commissioner 6. Do you guys intend to do a surface survey for cultural resources?
Exactly. Yes. Well, I think that's a great suggestion. We were not initially planning on doing an additional field survey. We wanted to try to rely upon the research and the data that we found. However, I think that's a reasonable request, and I'm not sure that I personally have the decision-making power to say yes or no on this call, but I don't see why that would be a problem as I'm sitting here right now. So the best I could do on the phone right now here is say that I'll take that back to the team and we'll discuss how we can accomplish that. I can say that in my limited experience, when the CRC makes a suggestion, we try, we do everything possible to achieve that suggestion or accomplish that. So I don't see why this one would be any different.
And this is Commissioner Six again. One other thing is, even when you're talking about no ground altering, just removing and grubbing and grading or whatever, getting rid of foliage, just be mindful if you don't know what's underneath there. I know it's going into that parcel, but maybe have somebody take a look before you go in. If that's, I just don't know how dense it is it seems like a strip of land that's been disturbed, but I just want you to be mindful of that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I have a question. I have a comment. Yeah, I'm just to circle back to what Commissioner Six and I know Commissioner Kuele is going to come in soon, but yeah, I'm surprised that you haven't done his surface or subsurface research, especially hearing that you didn't know about the lead paint. Of course, there's lead paint there, and the effect it had on the surrounding areas, especially the stream. I suggest that surface and subsurface research be done, studies be done with that, and include that into your APE. The other one is doing your research. Did you come across Ahupua'a Ka'ohe?
Uncle Des, how would you spell that? How do you to make sure I
Kaohe. That's all. That's all I have. I just suggest, do some subsurface, study and research too. I mean,
right, absolutely.
Through all these years of environmental impact, there's must have been, I don't know, maybe there is some EV there, but have been washed away. But there should be remnants of that, or any indication that, our kupuna live next to the stream, because, and you said earlier there is evidence that there is a kalo lo'i, a taro patch possibility. So that's a strong indication. And I see all the coconut trees over there. I'm pretty sure there was a living area at one time. Thank you.
Yeah, we call those eco indicators. When you see the canoe plants, the va'a plants, a lot of times you'll have a village. You'll see hala, you'll see the coconut. So I really want to, and I was just looking up just online, like what the place name means. And of course, it can have more meaning than what Google tells me. But the idea is looking at the place names. Again, if it's a nice area, people live there. And we just want to be mindful of when this bridge went in, there was no survey done.
Mm-hmm. And like I stated earlier, there's a couple roads further up that was used by our kupuna to access this area and walk upon the shores of this stream. So
I see. Thank you. Thank you so much for the comments. So Uncle Des, I want to let you know, we were in the planning stages. We intend to follow up on everything that you all are mentioning, but I just want to let you know that you're catching us right at the very beginning, essentially, of the planning for this particular project, which is excellent timing. We're just kind of trying to feel out some of these things before we dove too much into some particular surveys. I just mentioned that to say that you had made a comment suggesting, well, surprised none of this stuff had already been done. Well, it's still you're catching us still pretty early in the planning and development of this particular project.
Yeah, mahalo.
Which is yes, mahalo for your comments. So it's good timing to meet with the CRC.
For once, we had the table at the beginning.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Not at the end.
And as you know, and your researchers know, so much information is not contained in these databases. It's very helpful, but it can also be very much a partial data set. So sometimes talking to the people from this area, looking at place names and on oral histories as well as the written can really be enlightening. So I appreciate everything everyone's commented on.
Any other commissioners have comments, questions? Janet, you're muted if you're
Waiting for Ku'ule.
It's a good thing if I'm muted. No, it's good. I don't have any more comments.
okay. Sorry.
Well, thank you, Uncle Daz. Thanks, everyone. You know, you folks have definitely covered the things that I was thinking and wanting to say. So just to echo that, not all of the data sets, if you will, or documentation is going to be found in written record. Right? We just go back to this time where history, narratives, and the oration, the definite continuation and transfer of information from one generation to another was definitely done through oration. And I think that's when you, again, names are indicators. Names of places are informing. They inform us on many, many things. And being a source of Vai fresh water, again, indicative that these are the areas where life people would sustain themselves. So I know there's just so much information that can be received and look at the different sources, surely Hawaiian language newspapers, and glad to know we're kind of early on in this, so you can do as thorough of a research as you can. But looking at, I just did a quick search too on Papakilo, putting in the name, and yeah, it's talking about the water there. I think it was Lelehuna was the name of the water. The birds that fly there, the ava, or somewhat of the valley-ish, the gully that it's in, the stream, the people associated with this area. So the ali'i, it said an ali'i wahine, so a chiefess. But there's many, so much, and yes, just lean in on oral histories if there are those things that are available written form. If not, like the we saw earlier, the reach out to the people of the area, because they hold the narratives, the stories of their place and significance of their place names. But that's a good place to be up front in the beginning, and all good energies to your lovely research as you continue. And thank you. I was like crisscrossing the Vai Kaumalo and the Hakalau Bridge. There was a little bit of a cross thread over there, but thank you guys so much.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one more thing. You know, I seen all the people that was interviewed. There's many Filipinos, you know, still live over there that work the plantation. Thank you, Daddy. A lot of Filipinos live there, and they moved away because of one thing or another. Many of them moved to KL. So, you know, I mean, if you want to really check on the former residents, even the Paked, especially the Filipinos, and a lot of them moved to Honoka'a, yeah. There were other ethnic groups besides the Hawaiians there that actually prospered in that area. Okay, Scott, got it?
Wow. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
Any other commissioners have questions or comments?
I just have one comment. You know, in the comment about the endangered species, you know, that would be like a prime location for the opa'epae, the Hawaiian bat, because of the water, the availability of the water, and you know, that would just like that just comes to mind. You know, we see a lot of that along the Hamakua coastline, especially in the gulches, and these type of areas. So just kind of looking a little bit more into that, you know, the opa'epae and the other coastal birds. You know, I drive Hamakua all the time, like 2-3 times a week. I'm from Honoka'a. I do that drive into Hilo, and I see a lot of the seabirds that are out there, you know, that come in near the shores. And on the afternoons going back, I have actually seen opa'epae because Waikamalu Park is right above that, yeah. So that's one of the bathroom pit stops for me along the way.
TMI.
Yeah, I know TMI, but just the park is up there, which is another whole story because the county needs to redo that park. But anyway, it's one of the most neglected parks because it's so tiny. I think that's why.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful park and it's a beautiful area. So just being aware of that possibility of the Opa'epae. That's the only comment I have. Thank you.
That's a good point because of the steep valley of Mocha, and they love that type. Yeah, yeah. Don't bye.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so species impacts on species is definitely part of the scope of the environmental work. I did make a note about the Hawaiian bat in particular. So thank you for those comments.
These cops wants to leave already.
Yeah, mahalo. Anything else? I mean, we really appreciate you coming to us early. I guess for staff, do we need to make a motion, or can we're just here for the initial 106 consultation?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So, couple of things. Sounds like you folks do want to continue to participate in the Section 106. And then, any comments on the proposed area of potential effect? I think that was another question that they had. And then we can draft a letter on behalf of CRC to respond to their request.
Awesome.
Thank you. I guess with regards to the area of potential effects, I know you guys still need to do lead testing. If the lead, and you're going to be remediating lead under the bridge and it's going to go Makai or Mauka, I think the AP should be adjusted to account for any remediation you might be doing.
Uh-huh.
And I believe we would all like to stay, continue to be consulted parties in this as you move forward.
Yeah.
Any other commissioners want to provide any comment, questions? And
No,
I'm sorry, Saf, do we need a motion to continue to be consulted parties?
Probably, yeah. A motion to to draft a letter.
Yeah, you can do that if you want to. Otherwise, we can prepare the communication and have it at your next meeting.
Oh, yeah. We still in 106, that's all, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, if you don't mind, please, if you can prepare that letter and we can review it the next meeting, that would be great. I believe. Anyone else?
No.
Okay. Then I think we are set on this agenda item. If we're ready to move on, Scott, anything else that you'd like?
No, there wasn't anything in particular. We were just wanting to share the information as part of the 106 process.
Yeah. Mahalo for your time.
Well, mahalo,
Yes,
we really,
mahalo for your
we
time.
appreciate you coming to us.
Yes, I always learn so much at the CRC meetings. I appreciate that.
Okay, Oyo.
Ahuio, yep. That brings us to our administrative matters. We need approval of minutes for September 10th, 2025. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the Cultural Resources Commission meeting held on September 10th, 2025? Please.
Move to accept the minutes as submitted for our meeting on September 9th, it was. Yeah.
Oh, it says it's September 10th here, but
10th,
I
okay.
second.
Yeah.
Second.
Oh, yeah, September. Yep.
Okay. It was moved by Commissioner Homea and seconded by Commissioner Six. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Okay, minutes approved as circulated. The next meeting is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. Staff, are there any additional announcements?
No announcements. Fair, thank you.
All right.
This concludes the items on this agenda. Can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Second.
All
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, everyone.
Aloha. Take care, guys.
Aloha.
Aloha. Yesupu.
Mahalo.